Hey guys, welcome to Morning Joe with me, Jim, and happy Wednesday, hump day. Um, so I wanted to talk today about people who already own a home, right? You bought your primary residence, you've seen it go up in value quite a bit, meaning you've got a lot of equity in it, and you hear the R word constantly these days, which is we're probably heading into recession or already there. I don't know, not officially, but if we are, one thing that is really prudent to do is to diversify income, add an income stream, add a passive income stream if possible, right? And so that we keep on building wealth through that time. And one way a lot of people are doing that right now, and I'm helping a lot of people do that, is by buying an investment property. So how do you do that? Well, for investment property, you have to have 20, maybe even 25% down payment, right? It's not like buying a primary residence where it's 0 or 3% on conventional or 3.5 on FHA. It's 20 to 25%. 15% is doable, but the rates just don't work there. So 20 to 25% is what you need. Now, if you have that in the bank and you want to deploy that and buy an investment property, that's great. If you don't, one thing that people are considering is doing an equity line of credit or an equity loan, so it's fixed, on their primary and using some of that equity to then put into the investment property, right? And let me share my screen here real quick and see if I can show you what that would look like. A potential investment property, right? So let's just say you bought a $350,000 property in Berkeley County, and you could rent that for somewhere around 2,600, et cetera. And guess what? You can probably increase rents every year. So I put that in as well. Here's what it would look like with taxes and insurance and everything, and everything, including budgeting $145 a month for maintenance, right? Because if you own the property and something happens, you are the landlord. You have to fix it. So you have to budget for that. And we did that here. And basically, you would start off with a positive cash flow right now with rates where they are about $370 per month. Not bad. Used to be a car payment, not so much anymore. However, it doesn't stop there, right? The rental income minus expenses, if you owned this property for 10 years, you would gain about a little over almost $120,000, right? And that's a cash on cash return, the amount of cash you put into it, including closing costs, right? With the return is 147%. Very, very nice in that sense. And here's how we get there, right? You have amortization gain that you, or the tenant in this case, is paying down the mortgage, and appreciation gain over the next 10 years. And so if you've got, and I put in a rate of 7%. I think I said that. So yeah, and then an annual rental increase. So basically, your annual compounded return is about 17.5%. The return on investment is 400, but the annual compounded return, which is how you kind of compare it to stock market returns, right? A lot of people say, well, you can get 12% in the stock market. After fees and everything, I think it's more like 7 to 9, but somewhere in that range. Here, it's a little bit more. Well, it's a lot more, actually. But there's one more thing to take into account here, and that is, what if you refinance in a year and a half, 2 years? Because the entire mortgage market thinks the rates are not going to stay this high for very much longer. They're going to go lower. So you get into the property, you start cash flowing, and then you refinance. Let's say rates go to 4.5%. That means you, on investment property, you'd be somewhere around 5.5%. And that just increases your total returns, et cetera, your cash flow. And let's see what it does. Yeah, increases your compound annual return as well. So again, a lot of people are looking at this, and I think it's a prudent thing to do, to just consider using some of the equity. And I can help you walk through that. It's pretty easy to do. It's 2 transactions, right? It's an equity loan. So if you have a 2-point-something% fixed rate on your primary residence, we're going to keep that and just add a second mortgage, right? A home equity line or loan. and then do the financing. So the financing is completely separate on the investment property. You're just coming up with a down payment out of equity in the primary. As an example, you could. So if you own a home and are looking to diversify and get into investment properties, I mean, you can see the returns, and we can do that same analysis based on exactly what you're buying, right? What your rate is that you're going to get on the investment property, what county, what price point, et cetera, what you can rent it for. So let's do that together. If you're looking at diversifying income, adding an income stream, adding an asset, right? Basically. And happy to do it. Just reach out today and we'll get started. Talk to you soon.